open shotgun. The feeling we chase, I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive.
We're about halfway now on the journey from Graz to Salzburg, and we've just stopped off at this rest area. The A9 main motorway is what you can see just over there. Really good service area, plenty of room, you can get a coffee, toilets, etc. But really can't complain about the view. It's beautiful. They've even put a little viewing platform in for you, so you can get to enjoy the view. Of course, Martin's in his element now. The camera's out, and he's taking loads of pictures. But it might be an early stop for lunch, this, I think. Doesn't get much better than this for just for a little bit of R&R on your way to your next stop. The A9 motorway is a toll road, and if you've watched our other vlogs, you'll know that we've got a go box because we're over 3.5 tonnes. So that's been beeping as long as under the gantries we've been going on. We've been through a number of tunnels this morning, and on a couple of them, and certainly the latter one, the Bosruck tunnel, needs an additional payment. So if you're on a vignette, then there is basically a toll booth that you have to stop off and just pay an extra fee. If you've got a go box, it automatically charges your go box as you're going through the lanes that allow you to go through on a prepayment.
That was a lovely drive. 3.5 hours down from Graz. Took the motorway. Had to nip in and top up the go box. It's a clunky system, to be fair. Yeah, the Swiss system, as I keep saying, the Swiss system's much easier than the Polish system, but it means you've got to go in, and of course what they do is they take a minimum €75 payment onto the card, and then of course they're looking to reimburse you later if you incur additional, or if you actually have got a credit when you're finished. Now that works all right. I mean, it works all right in the Czech Republic as well, is they reimburse your card within 3 days, so it's not a big problem, but it's just a bit clunky. So we did that, we've come here, and I'll show you around quickly around this site where we are now. It's a lovely little Stellplatz, mountains in the distance, and quite a lot of announcers, which always warms the heart. Now spans for neighbours. It's a really nice Frankia over there, they are a nice van. Pretty good motorhome service points, we're getting used to these now. Banks of like motorhome bays where you park, where toilets emptying and water disposal and fresh water within each of the bays, and the main reception area, which, as normal, where you come pick up one of these purses, find yourself a bay, and as you leave, stick your cash in and leave it for them. It's a bit strange. Last street we've been on doesn't take cards. It's the way it works, so fair enough.
Good morning. It's a sunny day in Salzburg. We're catching the bus into town. The Stellplatz is across the road, and straight across here is the bus stop. Martin's waiting. We've worked it out. The bus timetables is here, and hopefully in the next 5 minutes there'll be a bus that'll take us straight into the centre of Salzburg.
Well, that was an easy ride into town. One bus ride, about 15-20 minutes. You can order it through an app. You have to create yourself a user account and attach your payment details, and you can find the bus timetable on there and then buy tickets accordingly. €2.20 for adults, and then a concessionary ticket for the dog, which must travel with a soft muzzle or a muzzle on. That's pretty standard over here, we're finding. And we're straight here and we're off to explore.
Welcome to Salzburg. This is the 4th largest city in Austria, and it sits on the river Salzach. Perhaps its most famous notable residence was Amadeus Mozart, who was born here in 1756. It's also, of course, very famous as the setting for the story of The Sound of Music, the film based on the life story of Maria von Trapp. And although there was a little bit of poetic license in the film, a lot of the film was made here in Salzburg. One of the main bridges across the town to the old town and the sort of, I guess, the newer town is this bridge here, and it's got all these locks on them, and they've got names on, dates of people professing their love for each other. And there's hundreds of them, if not thousands of them, all the way along the bridge. This is our first stop of the day. It's the Mozart Wohnhaus Cafe. And I have to say, Marty's taken a gazillion pictures already, and we've only been in town about 15 minutes. And that is mineral water. It's not gin and tonic. It's a little bit early in the morning. And next door is the place where Mozart lived. Now, these are actually electric buses. Salzburg's got the biggest amount of electric buses anywhere in Europe. These are the Mirabell Gardens, and they're absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, the fountain's not running today. Salzburg's a very walkable city, really. You can see just on the hill up there is the castle, and it's actually not too far to walk from there to the gardens where we are now. Everywhere's got some classical music connection, and the university in town, of course, is the Mozart Museum. But something a little bit more local for us, that here is the Antony Gormley. Now, I would imagine it's some form of exhibition. Antony Gormley's a famous sculptor and actually lives at Westacre in Norfolk. And of course here in the Mirabell Gardens is one of the most famous scenes filmed from The Sound of Music. The tulips here smell absolutely gorgeous, and everywhere you turn there's always something different to see. Church towers, the Mirabell Palace itself, which I think now is some sort of local council building or something like that. It's obviously a wedding venue because there's a bride and groom across there who've just got married. The palace gardens here are just beautiful. Everywhere you go, different flowers, different colours. It's this sort of midway through spring, and they've done a really good job. And of course here, so if I was to say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, then yeah, these are the famous do, re, mi steps. Difficult to get a picture on them without 100 other people being on them as well, but yeah, made famous in the film. We're walking up the many steps to get what we've been told is the best view in Salzburg. There was an elderly gentleman who was on the front painting, and we actually bought one of his little pictures. And he said, go up to this castle up here, walk up the steps, and you'll get the best view of Salzburg. So that's what we're doing. So that's where we've just come from, over that bridge, and if you continue straight across there, it gets you back into the Mirabell Palace and Gardens. From the vantage point up here, you can see just about all of the city, or the old city that you'd want to probably explore. On the hill, you've got the castle, and you've got the churches in the courtyard at the bottom, and then you've got many of the bridges that cross the River Salzach. And it's, yeah, as you can see from looking up here, it's an eminently walkable city. This is definitely one of the best views of Salzburg. So you've obviously got the castle on the very top of the hill, just up there. And then you've got a number of domes and different churches. So the one that you can see in the front with the darker coloured dome, that's the Collegiate Chapel. And if you look to the right-hand side of that, there's two smaller green domes with like a big plinth in the middle. That's the cathedral. And then behind there, the larger green dome is the convent. And it was that building that was used in the sound of music. To be honest, along with a lot of other places around here as well.
So this is our view for dinner. We're sat on a ledge looking down over Salzburg, and round to the right is the castle on the hill. And we're going to order Wiener Schnitzel, I think.
They like to call it a fortress.
Yeah.
It's not just any old thing,
Yeah.
It's a fortress.
Yeah, we've been corrected. It's the fortress, not the castle. But that's fine. It's their castle, they can call it what they like. A traditional Wiener Schnitzel.
After a really lovely lunch at the restaurant just there with some fantastic alpine views and views down into the bottom of Salzburg, we're going to follow the fortress walls and head back into town and explore and look at some of the, well, one of the three things that Salzburg is famous for. It's architecture.
We're actually sat on a bench having a drink, watching the railway cars go up and down on the funicular railway up to the castle. There's some guys playing outdoor chess.
Yeah. It looks to be actually taken quite seriously, this chess.
It does. It looks like it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Just behind the cafe is the Salzburg Christmas Museum. That's definitely really a place I need to keep out of. And of course, when in Salzburg, there's got to be a statue of Mozart. This is the place where Mozart was bought. Bought? I didn't mean that at all. This is the place where Mozart was born. And if you need to find it, it's right at the side of the spa.
Morning.
Morning.
Well, that was a bit of a, well, strange night really. Massive thunderstorm, Alp style. Lit the whole sky, and it was flashing through the gaps in the vents, which we didn't think we had.
Very windy and torrential rain.
Yeah. But it's cleared up this morning, and it's going to be okay for the coronation. So we're going to make us way over to Munich now. We're going to park at a place that we've parked at before, and we really enjoy. So bit of a treat to show you later on, I think. So we'll keep that one in the hopper for now. But yeah, we've doing a couple of stopovers. We've been here, Salzburg before, and we've been to Munich before, but we felt that we haven't videoed it and photographed it, and it's a while since we've been, maybe 5 years. So we're due a revisit. So it's the only couple of stops on the trip that we've revisited, but we think they're special, so hopefully you'll enjoy them. So Martin out.
Helen out.